Hello, good morning. It's another excellent morning on your numero uno breakfast show. That's kind of like a mic line.
Yeah. No matter uno.
Yeah.
B-E-A, beautiful.
No matter what we tell you, this is the bright side of TV.
Yes, it's Friday. It's Wednesday. Oh my wow. I'm in the weekend mood already. I'm so sorry. It's Wednesday. I look Friday, right? Weekend. Yeah, but hey, it's Wednesday. And we have a perfect show to help you start your day. Nice and gentle.
Yes,
slow and steady. And of course, we'll be dishing out all that you need to make your morning bright.
Quite a few memorable things coming up in the next 1 hour, 45 minutes. It's about to kick off. It's about to start. We're about to set the ball rolling. How many other anecdotes can I throw in there?
Fireball.
Exactly. Everything.
Oh, joy.
Bright smiles, bright colors, brightening your day.
Yes, and of course, my name is Emil Kwacha.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. You can watch this show on GOTV channel 16. And you can watch us on UHF channel 49.
You can also stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. And don't forget to get our app, people, so that while you're on the go, you can still catch up with what's going on here, right here on the show. And of course, we are on Android and iOS stores.
Indeed. Now, you might be wanting to move around, so have those things in the palm of your hands, especially the app. Very important.
Exactly.
Now, Wednesdays is all about relationships. We're starting with relationships today. We're going to be discussing marital productivity hacks. So usually we don't think of treating our marriage as a business.
Right.
But when you hear the word productivity, maybe we should be more business-like with our relationships. We have a great coach and relationship expert, Abisola Buhari, coming in very soon.
Is it a myth that some foods make you smarter? Well, we will be finding out later on nutrition with Medina Adegboyega, and she'll be letting us in on,
brain development.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, they said the holiday was over yesterday, but it felt like work officially began today.
I thought it was
back
yesterday.
To school.
I thought school resumed yesterday.
So maybe I skipped the traffic. Maybe I was able to dodge it yesterday, but this morning's traffic.
The traffic was.
Come on.
Yeah.
So obviously the school buses are back on the road. The kids are all back in school, and it feels like the roads are groaning under the weight of everything.
I love that term you used there. So I'm one of those parents who do not allow my kids to resume on the first week of resumption. Right.
Why?
So I want the other kids to soak in all the whatever it is that's in the air in the school.
Oh, wow. Come on.
Let them all soak it in. And then while they've soaked it all in, and then, the filter, the air is brighter, lighter, then the kids can't resume.
I have no idea what you're talking
it's
about.
a joke. But hey, I'd rather the kids resume a week after resumption.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Goodness me.
It's just
okay,
a thing.
So when I was in school, the first week was where, you get all the good desks, you can either sit in front or wherever you want.
Yeah, but I think that happens
fresh
as
exercise
you grow
books.
older. That happens as you grow older, right? Because I remember then everybody was camping to get, the front seats.
Yeah.
And then, for some of us, we fine on the middle seats, just the ones.
So the worst seat to get
is
by that window that doesn't have louvers. You know why? Because when it
rains. True.
And of course, on that soggy exercise book note,
wow,
let's find out what the weather is going to be like. Hello and good morning. It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. Thanks for joining us. We begin from the nation's capital, where the federal government has asked Nigerians trapped in Sudan to avoid dangerous trips to the borders in a bid to escape the country. The government issued a warning in a joint statement signed by Janet Olisa, a director in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Nasir Sani Gwarzo, a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. The ministries expressed concern over the dire humanitarian situation in Sudan and empathized with the civilian population caught up in the ongoing crisis between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces. They said plans are in motion to evacuate stranded citizens and asked for calm and maintenance of constant communication. Abike Dabiri Erewa, chairperson of the Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, had said the government had asked for a safe corridor for the evacuation of Nigerian students. She said the evacuation would begin on Tuesday by buses to the borders of Egypt before being airlifted to Nigeria. The NIDCOM chair warned against those taking alternative routes, saying they are putting themselves in harm's way without security. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday in Accra, Ghana, identified regular meetings among the countries that make up the Gulf of Guinea Commission as a critical route towards achieving peace and security in the region. His speech marked the last time he would address such a gathering as Nigeria's president. The event is the third extraordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the Gulf of Guinea Commission. Taking place in Ghana's capital, Buhari stressed that the theme of the session, building a safe and secure, prosperous Gulf of Guinea region for sustainable development, is quite apt and significant towards addressing the challenges in the region. Reiterating Nigeria's commitment and steps towards fighting maritime insecurity, in the Gulf of Guinea, President Buhari encouraged member countries to enact laws against piracy and other criminal acts, as Nigeria has done. Outside Nigeria now, outside Africa, indeed, the first flight evacuating UK nationals from Sudan lands in Cyprus. 2 more flights are planned overnight. It comes after the Foreign Office urged British nationals in the country to head to an airfield north of Khartoum. It marked a change of advice from this morning, or rather yesterday morning, when the Foreign Office told the people not to head to the airbase until they were contacted. It follows criticism from Brits stuck in Sudan who say they feel abandoned, while other foreign nationals and embassy staff were flown out so far. And so far, the EU has airlifted more than 1,000 of its citizens out of Sudan, mainly on French and German rescue missions. Many African countries have also got citizens out, but Kenyan students stuck in Khartoum tell reporters they are desperate for help. Rival military factions have been fighting for 10 days. A shaky ceasefire appears to be holding, although there have been reports of new gunfire and shelling.
Now that you have got your fitness on, let's go through the front pages of the newspaper. We will be starting with The Nation. Making the headlines this morning, we have high-level talks begin over Senate President's Speaker. And on the rider here, we have President-elect APC leaders meet. Aspirants intensify lobby. And at the top of the paper here, NDDC to link oil-producing states with $15 billion rail projects. And Minister here, Nigeria expects 100,000 malaria vaccines, vaccine doses next year. And Makinde explains delay in choosing Alaafin Soun. Police deploy Commissioner of Police in Ogun, Ondo, 9 others, and FCT. And that's all we can take on The Nation paper. Let's move over to The Guardian, making the headlines here. On funds repatriation, airfares hit new high as foreign airlines settle for 582 naira per dollar. Wow. And here at the bottom of the paper, you are replicating Buhari's distasteful foreign medical trips. Huriwa tells Tinubu. And darkness looms as TCN moves to disconnect defaulting discos, Gencos. And I'll take one more story here. At the bottom of the paper here, still on the Sudan crisis, federal government to airlift stranded Nigerians via safe routes, warns against treacherous journeys. And that's all we can take on The Guardian. Let's move over to the Daily Sun. Making the headlines here. On the National Assembly leadership ministerial posts, lobbyists besiege Tinubu. On the riders here, sleep in vehicles near Asokoro home. And APC chair Adamu meets president-elect in Defense House. And here we have ex-minister Fani Kayode backs Kalu for Senate President, Musa as deputy. And on the picture story, we have candidates writing the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination at Global Distance Learning Institutes in Abuja. And this was yesterday. Anxious candidates waiting for their turn to enter the hall at Egbe, Lagos. And that's an insert picture. Egbe. Sorry about that. And let's see if we can take one more story. Still on Sudan. We are having challenges evacuating stranded Nigerians in Sudan, and Air Peace offers to airlift victims from Ethiopia. And you can find more of that story on page 26 of the Daily Sun. Now that we've gone through the front pages, we'll be right back shortly. Stay with us.
Welcome back. And now, hey, a large percentage of the time when you see someone on their phone, the app they are using is WhatsApp. How you doing, Winnie?
I'm good.
You're looking glam.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks.
So I WhatsApped you this morning, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to link it to the conversation today. But breaking news, Mark Zuckerberg posted a tweet saying, as of yesterday, you could log into the same WhatsApp account on up to 4 phones.
4.
Wow. When people like Netflix are trying to reduce the number of people using the same account.
Good. Yeah.
So I think this is great for business owners. Because, you know, some had to download this WhatsApp business app for their business, and then they have their normal WhatsApp line. Has to be 2 separate phone numbers. And it gets complicated. If you have staff, for instance, you have someone in Abuja, have someone in Port Harcourt, and they all need to answer customers with that line. You know, in the end, as a business owner, you don't know what your staff are doing with your business line. They could be running their own side hustle with your own business line. You're just not sure. So as business owners, I think it's a great development. You know, you can have maybe some very affordable devices, give your staff, they all have access to your business line. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I'm about to say something that might come across somehow. Then again, if you're an Apple device user, it's going to be strange to you because you can actually link and sync exactly over. So it's not a foreign thing. So I'm like, oh, okay.
4 devices, same line.
Same, Apple Cloud account. Link it to your phone, your iPad, your laptop, anything. I think it's even more than 4, to be honest. But yeah.
All right.
So it's not like a strange thing.
But I feel like, you know, some people are even skeptical about even linking their WhatsApp to their laptop or desktop in the first place.
Because they have been caught.
They have been caught doing what?
Caught in the act.
Caught in the act of what?
Of the numerous vices that people are constantly perpetuating in
WhatsApp.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally relate with that one. There's times where you would leave your WhatsApp messenger open on your laptop, and then maybe your spouse or your partner or someone you're in a relationship with, uses the laptop and, comes across your WhatsApp messenger in a case where you did not log out of it.
Okay.
Don't ask me.
Well, I'm not asking you.
Did I
ask anything? Did I ask anything?
Yeah, but it's quite interesting. And I think this is also very good for Mark Zuckerberg, most importantly, right? Because yes, it is, because he's going to make more money off this.
Of course.
Right. I mean, you have over 2 billion users of, like, people currently using the WhatsApp app. So now you can imagine how, it's going to spread. It's going to, grow larger. It's basically growing the network. Right? And let's see how it's even going to be able to manage the end-to-end encryption and all of that, technicalities, on the
I
back
think
end.
security might be in question at this point, don't you think? Because
I'm sure
it also reduces the rate at which people could hack into your device, your WhatsApp.
sure?
I don't know. I'm just, trying. I'm just.
I think it makes it more hackable, to be honest. But then again, to be honest, for him to have thought this far, I'm very sure he's definitely going to put in measures to make everything work out well without all of these devices. But I think it's something that should actually be welcomed, because, for instance, now I have 2 phones. I don't want to now duplicate my WhatsApp with another number or something, and I want like same messages, do you understand, just in case I don't have one, and all of, as I said. So the same with Apple, it's across all boards. So it's just for ease of like retrieving messages and like communicating with people. So I think it's totally a welcome thing to me.
in terms of security now, I'm just going to say we need like a verification tag on
There
WhatsApp
definitely would be.
for verified users. Because in terms of security, if someone happens to get your old phone that is still linked to your WhatsApp line, because you can use it on multiple devices now, it just feels like you don't know who could be reading your messages.
No.
Because, you just never know.
Because you're not with the phone at the
Because you're not
time.
with the phone at
So
that
that's the thing. So what happens to me when I log in, I think even on WhatsApp now, with my laptop, if I'm not logged in for a certain number of hours or days, I think there's that, right?
Okay.
It then automatically just like shuts down. So when I come in, I have to barcode it again
Oh,
before I go back in. So yeah, I'm sure measures will be put in place to curtail
Well,
that.
big ups on Mark. And for all of you who have some skeletons in your closet, that's what the delete button is for. We'll be back after this.
Wow. Some safe plant is life. There's something that it does to our souls. So yes, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that feature. Moving on, we have our relationship segment, and we will be discussing marital productivity hacks and staying accountable to your spouse with Abisola Buhari. She's a life, relationship, and accountability coach. You are welcome to the show.
Having me. Good morning.
Thanks for being here. Good morning. Now let's dive right into it. Marital productivity hacks. Bells are going off in my head because I'm like, productivity hacks, marital productivity. Okay, so talk to us about what marital productivity hacks are.
Okay, like productivity hacks are those things you do to navigate being overwhelmed and getting stuck in your relationship.
Okay.
So these are the things you do on daily basis that keep your relationship with your spouse thriving, and at the end of the day, your overall life with fulfillment.
Okay, so is this something that you do every day? Is it like a routine?
Yes, it is a routine.
Okay.
It's a routine that eventually becomes an habit.
Okay.
Because when you do something over time, it becomes part of you and it becomes so seamless.
Okay, now that you have established that, let's break it down to what some of these productivity hacks are in regards to our finances, in regards to our emotional lives as a couple, in regards to our lives as our spirituality as well. Let's break it down to how, these hacks are related in, these different facets.
Okay, like these acts, I'm going to start with open communications.
Okay.
Like that's communication is something that we have to keep emphasizing on. When communication is open, then I know what is going on in my spouse's life. He knows what I'm trying to block out any kind of assumptions, because when I'm not talking and you start thinking, could it be this, could it be that, assumption, and that will lead to misconceptions and quarrels. So we have to be clear on communications. If I want to, my spirituality, I want to improve my spirituality now. I want to go on a fast and I want to abstain from intimacy with my spouse. So I have to communicate that. Then also, we have to be able to work together as couples. Let's focus on each other's strengths. So what I know I can't do as a chore in the house, and it happens to be one of his own strengths, he should be able to do it freely.
Okay.
That is going to help improve our productivity. Then honesty too is another hack. Let's be truthful, let's be honest. So if I'm going through stuff, let me tell you, if you have offended me and I'm hurt, even when you say sorry and I still find it hard to forgive you, let me be expressive. Let me tell you that I'm still...
This is how I feel.
Yes, this is how I feel. So until you are clear that, okay, we are good, then we can move on to the next stage.
Okay, let's talk about accountability, because I've come to realize that some of us find it difficult to be accountable to our partners. Right? We would rather find that accountability outside of our relationships, you know, with our friends, with our colleagues, with, you know, business partners, right? It depends on the area of your life that you want to be accountable for and to, right? So how do we stay accountable to your partner, and why is it important?
Accountability is very, very important, in as much as I'll agree that there are some areas of your life that you want another person to hold you accountable. However, there are some areas that your spouse have to hold you accountable. Talking about intimacy, like you have to be open. So your spouse you have to be accountable to him about your sexual life. And then talking about finance, I know that this is something that...
Exactly. It's a gray area. There's a lot of relationships.
We have people not wanting to disclose their worth.
And women have been found to be wanting in that regard.
Well. So I'll say that in as much as you want to keep, maybe for personal reasons, whatever you're going to declare, you have to be ready to be held accountable for what you are declaring. I know there's going to be boundaries. So if you agree together that, let's say I'm telling my husband now that my revenue for the year is 5 million naira. So I should be ready to be held accountable on how I spend that 5 million naira. So that is very, very crucial, because if I'm not accountable, that's when we start having issues of maybe you are wasteful, you are stingy. Like, you know, you get some wife complaining that my husband is very stingy. He has this money, but it's not lack of accountability. But when we carry ourselves along, and I know that, okay, you are making that 5 million, and I break it down to you, at the end of the day, you might even feel like this 5 million is not enough. So I want to be supporting you with extra cash to help you improve your baby girl lifestyle.
Ooh, okay.
So, like, I feel like there are benefits in it. Then your spiritual life to a certain extent, you have to be held accountable to your spouse, your health, your fitness. You have to be held accountable to your partner. So when we are talking about fun and recreation too, like, you have to be held accountable. I know that we can categorize that. You can have time out with the girls, you can have family time, you can have me time, then vacation and all of that. So you have to break all of these things down. So when it's time out with the girls, he knows that this time is for the girls. He's not going to come
encroach into
yes,
that
it's not going
space
to
or
come
that
in
time.
between. And when it is his own
his
time to, you understand, and you not start assuming maybe there's kind of cheating or something. So accountability is very, very important, but the parties have to agree on what they want to be held accountable for.
Now, you mentioned boundaries earlier on, and some relationship experts would say there should not be boundaries. Boundaries should never exist in a relationship, in a marriage, situation. What do you say?
The map is not the territory. All that you know is not all that there is to know. So what works for me? The means to justify the end. At the end of the day, we all want a healthy and harmonious relationship. So if I know that setting boundary is going to give me that, why not? I'll go for it. So it's something that will work for you. You know, like husband and wife are two different persons coming to work together, and they were brought up in different environments. So you cannot you cannot force what I don't want on me. So if I feel like this is a line you must not cross. So in marriage, yes, I welcome it for me if it's going to work. And if I'm working with any client and they feel like we don't, like they agree, like we don't want boundaries, we want to work together, then fine, in as much as that is going to give them the harmonious and healthy relationship they desire.
So basically just go for what works
for you.
Thank you so much. This has been quite insightful. Now we know about marital productivity hacks and you know why it is very important for every relationship and marriage.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Titi. Okay, so is it a myth that some foods make us smarter? We'll definitely be finding out right about now while we have a discussion on nutrition with Medina Adeboyega. She definitely is here to discuss nutrition and brain development. Now, Medina is a registered dietitian, nutritionist, a nutrition advocate and culinary expert. Welcome to
Thank you
Nigeria.
very much. Thank you.
It's nice having you here again. Okay, so now this question of nutrition and brain development. So now, first of all, let's clear it out. So is it a myth? So some people actually believe that nutrition affects our mental development and all of that. So are there actually foods that make us smarter?
Yeah, definitely it's not a myth.
Not a myth?
It's not a myth.
Okay.
Yeah, nutrition is the basis of is the foundation of our being.
Yeah.
Nutrition makes us what we are. A pregnant woman that is not adequately fed will bring forth a low birth weight baby. And a low birth weight baby is likely to come down with neural defects, with, you know, complications of organ development that will make their vital organ in the system not to be developed properly. And the brain is inclusive too. There are so many foods that that we can eat that are superfood that will give us good cognitive development.
Okay, so earlier I was actually having a conversation with you where we're actually breaking down class by class.
Yeah.
Before we get in there, now, can you just off the bat just give us examples of food that we can actually eat to make us actually smarter?
Yes, egg is one of it.
Eggs.
Egg is very, very important.
Okay.
It's loaded with, you know, healthy fats, and it's loaded with, you know, a vitamin-like substance we call choline. It is very, very essential for our neurological function.
Okay, so now I have a question. Okay, before you move forward. So a lot of people believe that at a certain age you should stop eating eggs, or you should take out the yolk because of the cholesterol.
Yeah.
So what is the issue with that? So I personally grew up believing, understanding that eggs is actually very important.
Yeah.
But sometimes they'll tell you, okay, no, take out the yolk, eat only the whites, or at this age, stop eating eggs. So what would you say to that?
The funniest thing about that is the amount of cholesterol our body, you know, produces is even far more than what we eat from our dietary intakes.
Okay.
So, of course, for people that have concerns about their heart issues, that have problem with their, you know, heart and breathing and everything, they may need to cut down on egg. But for young children, it's a no-no because it is highly essential for their growth.
For their development.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So now eggs, so what else are we talking about?
Okay, then we have vegetables too. Yes, the kids are always, they don't want to eat vegetables. But the mothers should know how they are going to do it through modifications, they should find a way, maybe chopping the veggies into smaller pieces and incorporating it into their diet. Make it, you know, fanciful, use all these colorful, brightly colored vegetables so that it will be appealing to the child. So it's highly important. Leafy vegetables. Children don't want to eat it, but we should encourage them. Another one is fish. It's funny that we will serve our children food and they will just eat the main food and leave the fish. Yeah.
A lot of kids don't
they can be picky. And all these things are important things that are necessary for their growth. Fish has an important oil we call DHA. It's omega-3 fatty acid. And it's highly essential for their brain development, for cognitive, for learning abilities. So that's why you see most of our growing up milk these days that they will be fortified and enriched with DHA. So like I said initially, if you know that your child is the type that will not eat fish or egg, maybe when you are making their gruel or their pudding, break the egg into it so that the child will not see the egg. Or you flake the fish or the chicken, make it, cut it in tiny, and just incorporate it into the diet so that the child will be able to have a good dose of what you want. So, and you the mother or the caregiver, you know what you are doing. You know your intention of loading them with those kind of nutrients. So you just must find a way of making sure that they eat it. Another thing I want to talk about is some things that we should avoid for these little children.
Okay.
And or we should give them in moderation. Sugar is highly important.
So a lot of people actually believe that, yes, give them sugar, they're active, they need energy. Sugar gives them that.
Of course, they need energy, but it shouldn't be too much. That's why I said moderation. Excessive sugar in the blood gives rise to high circulating blood sugar, and this can lead to insulin resistance.
Even at that young age?
At that young age. If it were for adults, that is automatic diabetes case.
Yes.
But for young children, once there is insulin resistance, it may cause, overload of sugars in the blood, and it will impair their cognitive development. It will impair their brain development. So we should actually control and cut down their sugar intake.
So now we're talking about the energy they need. So now what kind of foods has the right energy and sugar content for kids?
Like I said, kids always want something sweet. But we should make sure that what we give them is more of carbohydrate food that are from complex. That was why I said gruels from grains, nuts and seed. We should try as much as possible to encourage them to, get to eat all this food, because they are what will actually work in their system. If we indulge them in eating, fast food that are loaded with sugars, with saturated fats, these are not really going to, it will just give them a pop-up energy that will give them, that high they need instant. And once that one goes away, it's done. So in fact, it's one of the food that can actually make one to be dull. As we have food that can make us smarter, we have those that will make us dull.
Okay, so sugars, raw
sugars,
sodas.
Fat, from sodas, from sweets, from candies, from cakes. Of course, they are growing children. We can't deny them. That's why I said moderation. We should be able to control. Some parents indulge their kids. They load them with all these, when they are going.
Fast food as well.
Fast food too. They are loaded with fats and sugars mainly. And so that's why everything should be in moderation. It should be in moderation.
Okay. So now, earlier, I asked you this question. That now, fine. You spoke about how, as a pregnant woman, there are certain things you need to eat to make sure that your infant, your child is actually growing properly. And of course, when the child is born as well. So I now spoke about how from the ages of let's say 16, 17, 18 to mid-30s and all of that, people seem to neglect their nutritional intake, right? But then again, when they now get older, they now start, monitoring and say, okay, fine, I'll cut down on sugar, start eating whole grains and all that. So what would you say causes that, and how can we actually change that? And what nutrition do we need in that space of time?
Thank you very much. I think that is basically due to lack of awareness. They don't know what their body physiology needs. At that important age, like for a child in the pubertal or adolescent age, they are growing their reproductive capacity, and so they should be able to load their system with things that will prepare them for that important stage of their life. And even as adults, we are very active. We are working, we are moving here and there, and so we need enough energy. And aside from the energy, we need vitamins and minerals that will make this energy available. Because there are so many metabolism and complex reactions in the body that are actually moderated by these vitamins and minerals and the energy. So we shouldn't wait till we get old, because even when we now get old, that's when there will be so many restrictions for people. So we should be up and doing with our nutritional intake. For pregnant women, women should know that before they get pregnant, they should always prepare for pregnancy. Folic acid is an important nutrient that even it comes up in the growing baby even before the woman is aware that she's pregnant. So maybe few months to when you are planning to get pregnant, get enough dose of folic acid, iron supplement, so that even the reserve will work for your child. The growing baby is like a parasite. Even if the mother does not eat, it must always fend for itself from the mother's reserve. So if the mother is not well versed in what she has put in place in her body system, the baby will just parasite on her, and it will be at the detriment of the mother.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So much knowledge packed in that those few minutes. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
We're looking forward to having you again next week.
No problem.
Nutrition. All right, you heard it. It's the nutrition and foods or things that actually will make you smarter as opposed to the things that make you duller. All right, and on that note, we'll be taking a quick break.
The first hour is always a warm-up for us. We are still on for what's to come in the next less than 45 minutes.
Right now, this is the breakfast show you have tuned to, and it's the right one. Trust me. With the right segments curated specifically to give you an edge as you take on the day. We have quite a bit still to come in the next 45 minutes.
Yes, and I love what is happening right now on the show. We had relationships, we had nutrition, we had birthday shout-outs.
And there's still much more coming your way.
Of course, of course. My name is Emir Kwacha.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. You can catch the show live on GOTV channel 16 and UHF channel 49.
You can also stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. We also have an app, guys. Please download those apps if you have not already.
You should have.
We have it available on the Android and iOS stores. So get downloading now.
Well, you can watch us from anywhere you might be, and there's still quite a bit to come, so make sure you stay tuned. For what's left on the show, shortly we'll be having a conversation with the amazing Theresa Edem, and a Nigerian actress. She's a filmmaker. She won Best Actress in a Feature Film at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival. And we also have Segilola Ogidon, multiple award-winning British Nigerian producer, writer, and director. And she is so much fun. We're going to be finding out more about what she's about a little later on. All right, then. There's still quite a bit to come on the show. And there was something that Winfrey always finds these very, very interesting posts. And she'll put it, she just drop it.
Interesting person.
Yeah. Wow, really?
Wow.
So, of course you are. But it was so funny, this story about this particular guy who started dating this girl. And when he started dating her, for some reason, her friend was sending him WhatsApp messages. We talked about.
Okay, saw that.
Somewhere along the line, she invites him to her house. And then who did he meet there?
His girlfriend.
Yep. Okay. Cherry on top is he starts begging the girlfriend, explaining yada yada yada.
That was just a normal visit, nothing.
Then later on, about 3 months later.
No, then the friend that was talking with him, that invited him over, was now begging him that, no, now she made me do it. I really didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, right? And then he now finally forgives her. While the girl had not forgiven him, she now invited him over again onto, let me appease you. He goes back again and finds the girlfriend.
Right there is the girl that opened the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are some lessons that need to be taught on the street. We are going to be talking about what lessons we can learn from some of these funny things we find online. And we appreciate you for tuning in. Let's find out what the weather is like. All right. Now, a conversation we've been looking forward to.
Yes,
in fact, we've been gearing up to is this one. We have two lovely ladies on set with us today.
First off, we have Theresa Edem. She's a Nigerian actress and filmmaker who won the Best Actress in a Feature Film Award at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival. Yay!
Thanks for having
We also have multiple award-winning British Nigerian producer, Segilola Ogidon.
Wow.
Writer, director, and so much more.
Come on.
She's also the founder of OKP Productions. And hey, we're going to be digging into her life and background. How's it going? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to
Thanks
the
for
show,
having
ladies.
us.
You are such a ball of energy.
I know I am.
Sometimes I think that's refreshing.
Yes, it is.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be all poised and stiff in our industry now. But how have you been able to balance it?
Do you want to go first?
No, you go. It's for you. Balancing, well, every day is a juggle for me. I'm a mom of 2 kids, 2 young
You have
boys.
2 children.
I
Yes,
do have 2 children. I do. I know. That shocks everybody every single time. But yeah, so life already is a balancing act. And then, trying to be a mom, a good wife, a great actress, producer, director, and all of that. It's interesting. And, the thing is, but every single day, you kind of just have to, pick. You have to prioritize. Obviously, family comes first.
Sure,
and then everything is, after. And whatever doesn't allow me to focus on my family, I kind of just stay away from that. So that's why I'm thankful for the industry. It's not like, a 9 to 5 every day. It's
rigid.
dependent, exactly. It's depending on what project am I about to jump into? How does it, resonate with me and all that? And am I going to decide to do it? And yeah, it gives me the flexibility.
How are you able to keep your personal life away from the, public space? Because you are an actor, you're a producer. I mean, you're constantly in our faces on screen.
Yeah.
So how are you able to do that? Because you have 2 kids, and we didn't even know that.
I know, right?
Well, you know now.
Now you know. I don't go out much to start with.
Okay.
I am an introvert. And also, for me, because I am in the public eye and my husband and my children don't necessarily want to be in the public eye, so I have to be very, very conscious of that and intentional of, what I put out, what I keep private and that, yeah.
So, Teresa, we've had you on the show before. some time back, and we've seen you in so many different amazing projects.
Thank
I know that you have, so when we saw Las Vegas, it just hit me that, wait, no, this is not somebody that is just on this show. So this person has been, so I'm wondering about the response to you and your roles that you play from your fans. Talk to us about that.
Oh, my fans are the best. I feel like I feel like we feel like we're friends. I have that relationship with my fans where we can talk, we vibe. Did you get? Like I'm like the girl next door vibe. But my fans have been very supportive of my career. I've had people that have supported me from day one. Wow. I have fans that still they still remind me of some of the films that I don't even. I'm like, yo, I did that film. So the love has been massive, and across the globe. I did my village people, and I had people reaching out for me from Gambia, Ghana, just fans from everywhere showing love and all, and I really appreciate that.
All right. Yeah. So there's still so much more to talk about.
Yeah, there is. And you know what, guys? They're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And we are back.
So we have Segilola Ogidon and Teresa Edem on the couch with us. If you missed the first part of this interview, you need to go check it out on YouTube later on. But there's something amazing that they're working on right now.
Yes, but before we get into that, quickly, I would like to talk to Teresa on this one, because, I mean, we've sort of watched your journey in the industry. And so there was a conversation about, your journey. So it seems like you seem to feature in a lot of dark movies, right? You seem to play a lot of spooky roles, even in The Olive that we're about to talk about in a bit.
And she's wearing black today. And she has long, straight hair.
Yes.
We know where you're going.
Now, the question is, are you being typecasted for these roles, or you intentionally go for them? Like, you get the scripts and they say, oh, you're going to play Ejiro, this fun, spooky. I'm like, no, I don't want to play the fun girl. I want to play the spooky,
evil mistress.
Dark mistress, yeah.
No, obviously, I'm an actor. I'm willing to explore every kind of character, every kind of role, as long as it makes sense to me. It has to resonate with me. But I mean, I do feel like Nollywood, they're getting too excited with this dark role thing.
I mean, you play it so well.
We need to calm down, We need to calm down with it. But yeah, I don't know if I'd say I'm being typecast. But yeah, I get a lot of those things. Recently, I've been taking a break from them. I'm like, guys.
Should we write you a rom-com? Please, directors, would you
please do. Funny enough, I have played rom-coms. I was in Forbidden, which was a 10-month. It was running for months on Africa Magic, and it was like it ended up with a wedding. It was such a love story.
Oh.
So I have played.
But we don't remember those ones. We remember the dark ones.
Remember,
that's on you.
My village people. What was the other one you mentioned?
Trepidation.
I know. I tend to like these.
Now, let's talk about your character in The Olive, right? Your husband, Ibrahim Sulaiman, which was played by Ibrahim Sulaiman, was I mean, you died, and then he had to uncover... The character died. He had to uncover so many secrets. Talk to us how, I mean, the impact that had on you as, from, the character that you played to you as, you know,
A person.
Teresa. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was interesting. When I got the script initially, I was like, "What's going on here?" You know. And then I started to read. I'm like, "Oh, this girl is not really," because she's such a loving mom, good friend to Dami, and all of that. And then you start to realize she's hiding things. And then you realize she's not really. She's like a different person. There's a person she's hiding. So it was really interesting.
There's a whole life
Yeah,
she's hiding.
she's hiding.
Hiding, yeah.
Because she's Ahi and she's Abigail. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, it was interesting playing that character because I had to literally be two people in one.
personalities, yeah.
And then, I mean, the team, the directors helped, the crew helped, the costumes helped me become makeup and everything because the character was literally, is way older than I am in real life.
Yeah.
So they had to like, they did something to my brow that kind of made me look older.
Okay.
You know, so there was all of that. And then at the end, I mean, if you watched it, you saw that she didn't die.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler
No,
alert.
but
This is season
No,
one.
that's season one. That's season one.
Yeah, but it's still, for those that haven't watched it, it's still a spoiler. That was a
I mean, go
cliffhanger
watch
at
it.
the
Why
end.
haven't you?
But season 2, there were some changes.
Yeah.
Especially with the character that plays your husband in
Yeah, yeah. We
Talk to us a bit
lost.
about that.
We lost Karibi. He played my husband in season 1, and then then Michael Edgell had to
Replace him.
fill in his shoes, and it was challenging. I'm not gonna lie, because of course you spend how many months?
With this
like 3
person.
months, one person playing their wife. You build chemistry and all of that. You have that history, and then to try and like kind of rebuild that with somebody else. But knowing that you've already done this with somebody else, and it was challenging. But Michael was just so gracious and so patient with me, and the directors were very patient with me. Thank you, Tolu. Thank you, Edith. But we got there in the end, and we were able to build our own rapport and form
here
what
now.
it is. Yeah,
It does feel a little, is the word harsh? You know, how the industry just makes you move on.
Just move on, yeah.
The show must go on,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It is. I mean, but the thing is, after we lost Korea, I mean, we paused the show for a really long time because we were really all hoping that he would get better.
Yeah.
But when he, passed on, we gave it time. We did give it time. We gave that respect and everything. And then, everybody collectively spoke about it, like, what should we do?
Yeah.
Should we, what should we do with this character? Should we replace him and stuff? And it just made sense to replace him. Yeah.
Now, so what should we expect from season 2? I mean, season 1 had a lot of suspense and there were intrigues. And now she didn't die eventually. Season 2, what's next?
I mean, season 2 is, season 1 was kind of like a slow burn. Like, ease into it. Season 2 is like, boom, you're in it. Like
it
we're
just-
not, it's pacey.
Yeah.
Everything is happening
So
real fast.
fast.
And then there's a lot of, there's action. She's now, apparently she becomes like an action character.
So you did stunts?
Yeah, a lot of them. So
Tell us about that.
I mean, that was interesting. I don't want to ruin it for the viewers, but you need to watch it. It was really good. So that was my first time of playing like an action figure.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. I had to train and all of that.
okay.
So that's different. You see, it's different from the dark stuff.
Still dark.
But the thing is, I have a question. So for people like us, we really find it odd when we have to watch ourselves.
Oh, I've never.
Have you actually watched the entire season before? Like, have you watched everything back to back? And how does it make you feel?
I don't watch myself.
Yeah,
If I don't direct and produce something, I don't watch it. I mean, as a director, because obviously you direct it,
of course you have
And
to,
if I'm in it, then. But if I'm just acting, I tend to stay away from it. I think a lot of
Why?
actors don't enjoy
Because I feel like I'm my own worst critic.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
you're
always
watching
see
it-
something.
Over-criticizing
Yeah,
yourself.
you're watching it and you're thinking, oh, really? That was a choice you made in that scene.
Yeah.
So do you think
it's
it does? Do you think it does something to you as an actor when you over-criticize yourself? Do you think it sort of affects your esteem, or like it does? What I just want to somewhat break down the emotion that you feel when you are in that space.
I mean, for me, every day I feel like a fraud as an actor.
Really?
Yeah. So when people are like, oh my gosh, you're amazing, I'm like, really?
Sure.
That imposter syndrome is
Yeah,
oh
thing.
my
Oh,
goodness.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Wow. So I just stay away from it. And then, you know, whatever feedback I get, I'm like, thank you. But do I believe it? Not necessarily.
Yeah, but when the awards start coming, you know.
Right.
I mean, I have received Best Actress awards in the UK.
Yeah.
You know, so you would think that I would, you know what I mean? But still, like I said, that imposter syndrome is crazy. Maybe until I win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Maybe an Oscar.
Even then, you probably still question yourself.
Probably.
Right. We saw your breakout role in A Niger Christmas, and then next thing we just saw you in Glamour Girls, and it just went from the sweet
Sister
girl next door to.
Hello, baby.
I'm like, I promise you, it took me a while. I had to rewind.
I know, a lot of people.
Rewind. I'm like, is
It's
she
not
the
taking
one?
long enough.
Is she the one?
That's good acting.
Please. How were you able to break into that character as the person you played in The Glamour Girls?
Oh my goodness. I had to go into some dark places to be able to bring the character Hell out, you know. It was really challenging because I shot Glamour Girls at the same time as I was shooting in Niger Christmas. So that was, it was crazy. So literally in the day, I would do a Niger Christmas. At night, I would do Glamour Girls. So it was literally like living a double life.
Wow.
And I genuinely felt like, I don't know,
Like a double
a
agent.
double I felt like, hey.
I'm thinking about the first Glamour Girls movie. How many times did you have to watch that?
Do you know
to-
what? I started watching it, and then I was like, I'm doing myself a disservice because then I'm
that
going
was
to go in
then.
with like a preempt,
Exactly.
You know? So I was just like, do you know what? Stop. So I think I watched like the first 30 minutes, and then I left it. I was like, I'm just going to, you know, create my own ideas of this character, my own concepts of the story, and let's, you know, have fun. And
But didn't you get like, so from fans online, didn't you get those questions like, oh, this is not how they did it before, or, you know?
Do you know what? The thing is, I can speak for my fans. I think they understand my background to start with, so they're very gracious with how I interpret characters. And I think they just appreciated the fact that I was authentic with the character. I wasn't trying to be somebody else or trying to, you know, fit into a particular mold.
I thought you were authentic too.
Thank you. And, you know, I got a lot of, like, it was nice to hear very positive feedback about, you know, the work that I did on Glamour Girls because I put in a lot of work.
Oh, it showed. It showed. Teresa, now let's talk about, I mean, yes, yes, the industry has sort of typecasted.
No, they're not. We are going to put her inside.
So what is that role that you are itching for?
Yeah.
I don't know. To be honest, I won't say they've typecasted me because I've done stuff this year that's totally different from anything you've seen or anyone has seen out there. So, I mean, like, the role I'm itching for is just, I would like to do a biopic.
You like to do what?
A biopic.
A biopic. Oh. Do you have anyone in mind?
I mean, they're still alive. I don't know. Biopics, must they always be dead?
No.
Yeah. I mean, just there are a couple of people that people say, "Oh my God, you look so much like."
Like who?
Okay.
Like Fumi.
Yonda?
Oh,
yeah. I see that now.
Yeah. I've always seen
Fumi
that.
Yonda. Yeah.
I mean, so I'd like to do a biopic, like someone that is alive, someone or past, you know, like play that person. It would be interesting to see how I could pick up their nuances. And
You fit into that role.
Perfectly.
I think you're going to eat it up.
Producers.
you hear that.
So can I toot my horn now?
Yeah.
Fun fact. She interviewed me when I was 17.
Oh wow.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I was still modeling. So I used to see her, like, she had like a halo around her.
Oh, wow.
Then. And it was just amazing. So that is a role you really want to play.
Yeah, you should.
But
now, what from the grapevine is that you could be in our
We're looking at your finger, basically.
Oh my God, I've been married for almost 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
What is it that people don't ask?
How are you so good at keeping your private lives
for 10
private?
Wow.
I've been married since December 2015.
Oh.
So talk to us about how you're. Yeah, I mean, like, you have been in this industry for a while, right? So talk to us about how, you know, do you have the conversation sometimes your husband is like, don't go and be kissing anybody
Yes.
in any
Yes, I do. Sorry. I know it was your question, but
I
yes,
mean,
I do.
my
Or maybe you hug the your fellow colleague.
yeah.
And of course, it's like, why did you hug this person in this setting way?
Wow.
You know the funniest thing? My husband is probably more chilled than I am.
Then you
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm probably the one that would be like, you can't hug me a certain way. Like producers would know, like my heart knows, and all of that. But my husband is quite like he's understanding, he's chilled, he's very. I don't know, he blows my mind because I'm always like, why are you so chilled though?
Wow.
You guys, he's been so supportive from like day one you know, up till now. So yeah.
What about Segi? Quickly.
I mean, Mr. Ogedon is very supportive and everything, but if there is a kissing scene, we do have to talk through it and rehearse and come to a point where he's comfortable. And then he will be like, yeah, you can do it this way with that person.
Oh,
When I
and
first
then he
started,
likes
I had
to
to
meet
show him how
the
to
guy as well.
Sorry?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
When I first started, I showed my husband how I kiss on screen.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You
yeah,
had to
yeah,
show
you
him.
have to, yeah.
So I kissed my arm and I showed him that there was no fluid exchange.
No
you know, like
fluid exchange.
you
Oh,
learn.
yeah. There's actually like a
It's
professional
a professional way to kiss.
kissing. Yeah.
No fluid.
Yeah,
No,
you don't.
you
don't.
can't- no, it's
yeah,
just
you don't
lip.
exchange anything.
Oh,
Oh, my
goodness.
word.
I know.
We're
we
going
have
to
to
do
see.
There's a lot to
I would
You
love
all
to.
have been beautiful. You all are, you're such beautiful people, beautiful
thank
souls.
you.
I mean,
So
it's
are you.
amazing. Thank you so much.
It's been great, and Winfrey has been part of this conversation, sending us looks and sending us smiles and giggles. Hey, wake up,
Lovely
princess
energy.
here.
You guys are amazing at what you do, really talented. And it's a pleasure to meet you.
You look so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
All right, guys.
so
And,
much for
yeah.
joining us, ladies.
It's been a great show so far. Thank you to all our guests for being a part of the show today. We appreciate you. And to you watching at home, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's a wrap on the show today.
We're going to be back tomorrow morning from 7 a.m., everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.